Welcome back to At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. It's more than a fuel station, more than a convenience store. It is your one-stop travel shop on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion, and Yankton. And we are going to highlight some Freeman track and field. On the girls' side, they have been having themselves a bit of a season. And we have 6 amazing athletes with us. And if I butcher a name, I totally apologize, and you guys can correct me and mock me. But I think I have Vaida Ammann, Landrei Baker, Makenzie Scharberg, Rylee Peters, Penny Schultz, and Cadence Hofer.
Yes, sir.
Did I butcher any of those?
Vaida Ammann.
Ammann.
That's the only one, though. Yes.
Ammann, not Ammann. I appreciate it. I appreciate the brutal honesty and not mocking me too badly. So excellent. Well, thank you so much for being willing to take the time to talk with me today. And I think the first place to start is just for each of you to go around and kind of introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about you, your family, parents, siblings, anything like that. Hobbies and interests when you're not, because I know you all almost all do other sports. I've seen your names plenty of times, but even other hobbies and interests that you might have. And then tell us the events that you participate in track and field.
Yeah, my name is Vaida Ammann. I am a senior here at FHS. I grew up in a family of 7 people, so I have 4 other siblings. My mom is actually originally from Freeman, so my family moved here when I was in 1st grade. Outside of track, like you said, we're all kind of involved in a lot of other sports. I also participate in volleyball and basketball, so I really enjoy doing those. I love hanging out with my family and friends. I love going to baseball games in Freeman during the summer and things like that. At FHS, I participate in the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the 4x100-meter relay, the 4x200-meter relay, and the 4x400-meter relay.
It's Rylee Peters. I'm a junior here at Freeman High School. In track, I do both 100 and 300 hurdles, along with the 4x1, 4x2, and 4x4. Usually depends on the day. My parents are Chris and Jenny Peters. My mom's been my assistant coach in both basketball and track throughout high school. Some of my hobbies are golfing, being out on the lake, or camping with my family. And I'm also involved in basketball and volleyball here at Freeman Pub.
Hi, I'm Penny Schultz. I'm in grade 8 in Freeman. I participate in the 4x4, 400, 800, 4x8, and medley relay. I like to listen to music in my free time, and I do volleyball and basketball.
My name is Cadence Hofer, and I'm a junior at Freeman High School. I live about 10 miles outside of town on a farm, and I have 3 younger siblings. 2 of them, which I do track with. My parents are Lori and Carrie Hofer, and my events usually consist of triple jump, the 4x1, the 4x2, and the 4x4. And sometimes different events sprinkled in there. So my hobbies are playing piano and guitar, and I really love hanging out with my friends, whether that's a hot workout class or just getting a coffee together.
I also play basketball and volleyball.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Makenzie Scharberg. I'm a junior. I have 1 older brother and a dog. Currently, my only sport is track, and I do the open 1, the open 2, long jump, and then depending on the day, 4x1, 4x2, medley, or 4x4. My hobbies outside of sports would probably be hanging out with friends and family, going out to Lake Ponset with my family, and lifeguarding in the summer.
Hi, I'm Landrei Baker. I'm a freshman at Freeman High School. I grew up with a family of 4, and my hobbies are playing other sports like volleyball and obviously track, and then just hanging out with my friends and family, just going shopping, hanging out at lakes, boating, most of that. And then I participate in the open 4, the 4x1, 4x2, and then the 4x4.
All right. Well, so we've got a lot of the events covered. And, when a person looks at the leaderboards from around the state in Class B, you guys are all representing Freeman well. Let me just ask each of you, were you expecting the success that you're having so far this season, or has it been a surprise? Because each of you is kind of at different paths in your career. Obviously, we have an 8th grader there. We've got a senior. We've got juniors. Just kind of what were you expecting, and have you met those expectations or exceeded them?
For me, I feel like this is Cadence Hofer. We for sure met the expectations. It's exciting getting to see a new girl that came from Viborg that's a freshman, and like these 8th graders and junior high kids that are doing really well in medicine. Of course, it's exciting and encouraging to break a school record too. So I'd say the season's going really well, better than I expected.
This is Vaida Ammann. I would also say that I did kind of expect this season. We've had a lot of success, honestly, since I've been a sixth grader and every year since then. We also kind of developed a new program at practice this year that has just really been helping us build up our speed. So we were really excited to see how that translated into meets, and it's shown to give us really good times, really good rankings in the state. So I would say that this is kind of what I expected coming into it.
This is Rylee Peters. I would say this season has come as a bit of surprise with how quickly our success has come. And also specifically for me in hurdles, I didn't expect to run my times as quickly as I have already. Usually it comes at the state track meet. So that is one surprise with this season for me.
This is Cadence Hofer again. And I would say this year from our new program we've done, I feel like we're a lot stronger and we're very consistent in all we do. Like all our relays, I feel like are very consistent this year and just like the times we run. And like for me, triple jump has been a lot more consistent. So good for our coaches at practice for that.
Right. Well, you talked about a new program. What did that program entail? Because I think a lot of people just think, oh, you practice for track, you do a jump, you jump, and there's some weights and stuff like that. What are some of those new programs? And that isn't meant to sound insincere. I just want you guys to know you are talking to the most unathletic person you will ever meet. So every question I have about being an athlete is totally genuine.
Yeah, this is Vaida Ammann. So these last few years, we've really focused on endurance, getting on the track and running these distances, making sure we had the endurance to run at meets. So this year we've pivoted to a program called Feed the Cats, and this focuses a lot on sprinting, sprint mechanics, getting faster in our shorter distance races. So what practices have kind of looked like, instead of maybe running a ladder that would go 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and then back down, we're doing 30 to 60 meter sprints. We're doing little plyometric workouts and things like that to really dig into our sprint mechanics and advance that part of our workout.
All right. And, as we talked, a number of you are covering a number of events, but there's some crossover. Is the competition friendly when you guys are competing for some of the best times, not only on your team, but in the state? And does it help push you guys to keep improving? And are you able to help each other during the practices?
Yes. Oh, this is Penny Schultz, by the way. Honestly, the competition this year has been a lot. There's a lot of good teams that we faced.
This is Makenzie Scharberg. I think between our athletes, we all have friendly competition, but we also know when it comes down to it, we're all still working our hardest. We know that we have these goals and that none of our spots are truly secure in any of the relays. So we're always pushing to do our best. And we know there's good competition out there, and we're always just striving to do the best for ourselves.
Like what Makenzie said, it's Landrei, by the way, about how we love our competition. They're nice, but it also comes down to time that we also have to meet our goals and just get the time that we want.
Hey, Mike, this is Coach Amy. Do you care if I comment on that question?
No, you can chime in anytime you want.
Okay, fantastic. I will. I would say the best thing about this group, and not even just the girls that you're interviewing today, but our whole team, is that they're all very competitive. And with the changes that we've made this season and the growth that we've seen in the girls and the boys, to be honest, it's made them kind of work a little bit harder to earn those spots. They're all getting faster. They're trying new events. We're trading in and out spots. They're all working for those spots in those relays. And it's just encouraging them to push in practice and in meets, making them not only better in these relays, but honestly, every one of these girls has an open event that either they are qualified right now in state or just about. And so really across the board, it's just been a really great season culture-wise as far as team grit and encouragement and just pushing each other to see their best.
And that's what I've noticed. I mean, because it feels like, as I've been following how you guys are doing, it does feel like you guys are pushing each other, and it's just improving. But what does it feel like, when you guys, especially as a relay, are breaking? And it's so funny because the boys basketball team won the first state championship. It's been, I think it was 50 years, something like that. Well, all of a sudden, at the Dakota Relays, Howard Wood, I'm seeing you guys are breaking records that were 1977. These records that are 49 years old, actually across two generations, where it'd almost be grandparents that were running it. What does that feel like, and how does the community respond to something like that? Because on the outside looking in, it feels like Freeman is a very supportive community for their athletics, and they really get behind the athletes.
Yeah, this is Vaida Ammann. So I was part of the 4x2 relay team that broke our school record at Howard Wood, and I also hold the 4x1 record that was previously set in 2023. And I can say that it's definitely one of the most rewarding feelings. You know, you're putting in this work at practice every day, and we have these big panels throughout our school with these records on them. And seeing those every day and having a number to work for and a goal to work for is super encouraging. So when we broke that as a team, it was just kind of like, wow, we did something that no one has done since 1977. And that really just helps to show why we work hard in practice and why we set goals and why we push ourselves. There's something really fun that can come out of that. And the community part, I think Freeman has always had a great community. Our Freeman boys won the football championship, then the basketball, and then now we're kind of doing great things in track right now. The community has shown up countless times for every single game, every single state basketball, state football. We fill up the stands at track meets, and just kind of everybody saying, you know, mentioning, nice job, I saw you guys broke this record, or I saw you guys won this meet. So there's always kind of chatter around town about that.
Rylee Peters. And specifically at bigger meets such as Howard, hold 1 second. There's an announcement there.
No worries.
But specifically at bigger track meets like Harwood and State Track, where there's high levels of competition, where you maybe aren't placing first or second or how you want to, but being able to look at your time and seeing that you PR'd as a team and you got your school record is really exciting and something to work for there. And also the community, like we post all these things, records broken, but you see it on social media and you hear it in person from them about how like proud they are of your team in Freeman as a whole.
Well, and so each of you has, whether it's individual success or on a relay, there are multiple opportunities for you guys to go to state and perform well. You know, there's a lot of season left, but what are some of each of your goals? I mean, whether it be, you know, times or, because I know the placing thing is hard. Obviously, you never know. You can't control what somebody else does. But do you have certain times in mind that you'd like to hit as you get ready and kind of peak towards the end of the season?
It's Landrei Baker, and for me, one of my goals. Sorry, there's okay. One of my goals for my Open 4 is to run at state and run a 60, and then the same to have my 60 split in the 4x4, and then obviously PR in the 4x4 and all those relays. So.
This is Makenzie Scharberg. I think one of my biggest goals this year is to get a new PR in my long jump and make it back to state, get further. And to be back on the top 25 for the Open 1 was a huge goal of mine. And now I hope that I go to state and I hope to break 13 like I did freshman year, I'm pretty sure. And I would love to see our 4x1 break our school record that we had previously set.
This is Cadence, Hofer. And I'm just really looking forward to cutting off a lot of time in all of our relays, whether that's like a 4:05 in our 4x4, or we keep breaking the school records for 4x1 and 4x2. That'd be so exciting to do at the state tournament. But honestly, just to keep improving until then and to set like PR and triple jump for me, which would probably mean placing at state. That'd be really exciting.
Hi, this is Penny Schultz. A few things that I would like to do is break 2:30 in the 800, and I would also like to see us break the school record for the 4x4. Because I think that we can do it.
It is a 403, but we can do it.
Yeah.
I think this is Coach Amy. I think that's the best thing about this group, Mike, is that they're not just all 100, 200 sprinters. They're really diverse. They're willing to try things. They're willing to try new spots in relays. We switch up orders a lot of the time. You know, we had great success at Howard Wood at the Dakota Relays last weekend, and then we just told the girls, you know, we're going to pivot from here, continue to try a few new things, so that when we are getting close to the end game at state, we've got the 4 best in each relay that we have qualified to get us the best success, the best outcome that these girls are working for. You know, right now the girls are sitting 3rd in the 4x1. They're sitting 2nd in the state in the 4x2, 5th in the 4x4, and we just punched our ticket and are qualified now in the 4x8. And so we have a couple meets yet. We're still working really hard changing things up. The good thing, too, about the Dakota Relays, they got to see some competition we usually don't see at our local track meets. And so kind of getting a feel of where other teams are at kind of really, I think, gave them a sense of where we need to go, what the goal needs to be, and how hard we need to work to get there.
Well, and that kind of leads to me to ask, you know, something like Howard Wood, it's kind of that pivot point And like you said, you're going to pivot from there and just try things out. But how valuable is a meet like that where you are on this grand stage that's very akin to the state meet and against the very best? And it's not just South Dakota. Obviously, you're competing against some other states as well in your other classes, all of that. But how important is a meet like that just to kind of give yourself a gauge as you move towards these final weeks of the season?
This is Coach Amy. I'll turn that over to the girls here in a second. But as coaches, I feel we really push the importance of qualifying for the Dakota Relays. Sometimes the athletes don't see why we're pushing that as much as we are, but because of where it's at in Sioux Falls, because that's the stage for the state track meet, the energy, the environment running on that track, I mean, that was a first for our 8th grader, Penny Schultz, just to kind of get that feel is really, really important. And exactly, especially when you're up against competition, not only from South Dakota, but other states, and really seeing what other teams are able to do. It does nothing but drive these girls, and I think that's exactly what they took away from it last weekend. Not only that, but just the excitement from breaking the records, setting new PRs, and just getting the feel for what we hope to have here in a couple weeks back in Sioux Falls. But I'll let the girls answer that as well.
All right.
Rylee Peters. So Howardwood is especially good for hurdles because a lot of the local track meets, there's not a bunch of hurdlers that run or qualified for state or run near the same time as me. And so at Howardwood, there's a lot of girls that are running at the exact same time. So them being able to push me helps a lot and helps me set new personal best.
This is Vaida Ammann. I would say just being in the Howardwood environment and being on such a big track like that with such a big audience pushes you just to a higher level than we've reached just at our local meets. We kind of talked about after Howardwood, like, how are we supposed to go back to our Freeman meet, to our Meadow meet, because it's just such a big stage and it's so much fun. And I know for sure, like, we see competition from other states, and that's huge. So when we go into a race like the 4x1, where maybe we come in at Howardwood ranked 4th, but we know that these 2 Minnesota teams have times right by us, and we can really use those to push us. And that honestly makes for the best PRs, even if we aren't necessarily coming out first in our relays. So it's super valuable getting on the Howardwood track and kind of getting that little push before state and just seeing what competition we can get there and seeing how much we can improve before we are there for state on our kind of last chances.
All right. Well, you know, one thing I wanted to ask is obviously you have athletes from a variety of classes. And for Penny, how great is it to have some of these athletes that have been on that stage, maybe to give you a little guidance, a little advice? And for Vaida and then for the juniors, do you kind of view it as a responsibility to kind of help guide the younger athletes along?
Honestly, it was kind of great because I only did track my 6th grade year, then I got hurt on my 7th grade year, so I kind of had to just jump right into it. And it's on a big stage like that, it's so nerve-wracking, but all the older girls, they made me feel really good about it, and they just made me so much less nervous, and it was just amazing.
I would say, this is Vaida, as the senior on the team and having an 8th grader come in like that, I personally have run on the Howardwood track at that age and knew how nerve-wracking it could be, how scary it could be, and especially Penny jumped in our 4x4 for the first time at Howardwood. So just knowing what kind of pressure that can put on a young athlete, just making sure she felt absolutely comfortable with us girls, with what she was doing, with the position she had in the relay, knowing that no matter what, none of us are going to be upset. We're just excited to be there. We just want to have fun. But really giving her the confidence that she's also in the relay for a reason, and she's there because she's fast. So we had the utmost confidence in Penny, and she really delivered at Howardwood.
All right. And then, Vaida, while I have you as the one senior, you know, what are you – there have to be some mixed emotions these final few weeks as school wraps up. You're going to graduate and then move on. But these are the final few weeks of competing for Freeman. Are there some mixed emotions? And then what are your plans after graduation?
100%. There's definitely some mixed emotions there. There wasn't a lot of seniors last year. So as far as like leadership on the team, I feel like that was kind of similar to last year, and I kind of got a taste of that. So it's just been fun to keep interacting with my friends. Track is definitely one of my favorite sports. So I've just been trying to enjoy every bit of it that I can as we kind of get over halfway through the season and we kind of start wrapping up. And honestly, I try not to think about the end of the season too much because obviously I don't want it to end. Track is just such a rewarding sport, and not only do I have just a great time with my friends and running, but it truly does keep your body in the best shape and it keeps you healthy. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to maintain that, I guess. But after high school, I plan to attend South Dakota State for nursing, which I'm excited. Brookings isn't too far from here, so I do plan to come home and visit my friends often. I'm going to miss them a lot. So, yeah, just trying to take in these last few weeks and really give it my all.
All right.
This is Coach Amy. Coach Amy. I'll jump in regarding Vaida. You know, she is our senior, and we have another senior thrower. We have just an awesome, great team of young ladies. But as far as Vaida's role on this team, I've kind of nicknamed her the mom of the group. She's very good at holding the other girls accountable, the girls not only in her relay, but across everybody on the entire team, praising them, encouraging them, lifting them up, but really just showing leadership. And I truly think that that's why these girls have seen the success that they have, not only this year, but in the years past, too. So she is going to be missed greatly and hard to replace.
All right. Well, for each of you, before I let you go, what is your favorite memory from track and field? And obviously, Penny, you'll have fewer than the other, but just what's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory, this is Cadence Hofer, and my favorite memory, this is one that makes me laugh. I don't know if it makes Amy laugh, but it's when for the 4x4, one time at a Hanson meet, we convinced Amy to let us wear these matching red little square sunglasses. And we had been grinding the 4x4 and preparing for it, and we're going to have a great time, right? So we start running it with these sunglasses. Each person had a pair. And I think it was between like the second or third handoff, maybe Rylee to Vaida or something. And the baton got dropped. And let me tell you, that walk back to the bus and all the way home was pretty quiet. And those sunglasses were never worn for a race again. But now we laugh about it. So.
Well, that's good.
Well, this is Penny. Mine's probably not as good as that one. But honestly, probably just getting fourth in Howard Wood is mine. It was probably a good memory.
This is Landrei, and like Penny said, definitely getting placed good in all the relays that we ran at Howard Wood is definitely very exciting. And then the adrenaline that we got from all the girls and then just everyone. It was just really fun and a good environment to run in.
This is Vaida Ammann. My favorite memory is probably more of a serious one, but I absolutely love running at the state meet. And one race in particular that I don't think I'll ever be able to forget is the 2024 4x4. We had a senior that year that we were really close with, and so that was our last race with her, and that was kind of bittersweet. But we ran a really good race. I think we got third, which was super exciting. We came in and got placed better than we thought we were going to. And, yeah, it's something I'll never forget. It's just a super fun race, especially in that environment.
This is Rylee Peters. My favorite track memories always come from the state meet when after the first and second day we go and sit in our coach's hotel room and just watch the races back. And Amy always plays with my hair. It's my favorite part. So those are my favorite memories.
All right. Anybody else?
No, Makenzie had to step out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no problem. But, I just wanted to touch base with you guys, and this was fun. I hope you guys don't feel like I wasted your time because I enjoyed this so much. And I'm looking forward.
Yeah, thank you for reaching out. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do the rest of this season. It's always fun to actually have spoken to some people when I see their names on the list. So best of luck with everything, and maybe before state or after state we can touch base again. But thank you so much, and good luck with everything this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, my pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was the Freeman girls track and field team. That was Vaida, Rylee, Penny, Landrei, Cadence, and Makenzie. And this is At the Mic with Michael Schumacher. And if you'd like to sponsor our Freeman conversations, give me a call, 605-661-5858, and I'd be talking to you. I'd be running an ad for you right after this, and then I'd be talking about you some more. So, all right, this is At the Mic with Michael Schumacher. We'll be right back.